Welcome everyone! Today we're going to be setting something that we've never set before, just like the ring video from before that I'll link to in the cards, and we're going to be trying to set one of these light bulb or luminous puzzles where there's some kind of fog of war. And Simon, just the other day, solved a puzzle by Chameleon called Luminous Maximus, which used this sort of fog of war idea. I'll link to that video in the cards, and I noticed that Sven has implemented the ability to use this fog of war. I saw that Dathan had also set a puzzle using this same constraint, and I figured, hey, this is a puzzle I've never seen before. Why don't I solve this puzzle, and then we'll go try and set our own. So this is the puzzle by Chameleon. So the grid is covered with a fog, and there's these two initial light sources that eliminate some of the darkness and clear the fog. So we have to put correct digits into cells to uncover this fog. All right, let's move on to Dathan's puzzle. I think it's Dathan. I think I was saying Dathan before, but it's Dathan. And his puzzle is called Lost. It uses killer cages and thermos. So this 4 cage has to be a 1-3 pair. This 6 cage has to be a 1-2-3 triple. This 9 can't have 1, 2, or 3 in it, so it has to be 4, 5. And this 13 can no longer be 5, 8, or 4, 9, so it has to be 6, 7. So these two cells are an 8, 9 pair, which means that this cell has to be an 8 because it's a thermo. It has some cell coming off of it, and if it was 9, then the next cell in the thermo would have to be a 10. So we actually know this is an 8, and this is a 9. That reveals a ton of stuff. This is a 9 cage, so that's a 1. I didn't even know there was a cage in there, actually. I didn't even see that. So there's no 1 in there, so that's a 1. What about this thermo? Because this can't have a 1, 2, or 3 in the bulb. So this is at least a 4, which has to go 5, 6, and then 7 at least in this cell. And this cell can't even be 9. So if this was the tip, this would be 8, 7, 6, 5. And it doesn't even matter if this has another cell in it. This can't be 9 anyway. So in fact, this is the entire optionality for this thermo, which means that this is a real 6, 7 pair, which means that that's a 5 and that's a 4. And we actually do have another cell in this thermo, which means this could be 8 or 9. This can't be 8 because that would put a 4 here. So this is a 3, this is a 9. This 3 gives us a 1 and a 3. In this box, we need a 2, 7, 8, 6. That can't be an 8. This can't be a 6 or 7. This cell can't be a 1, and it's on a 5-cell thermo, so can go 2, 4, no, because this cell sees a 4. So 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have to do 6, 7, 8, 9. And this could be a range of things. It could be 2, 3, or 4. Now this is 2, 4, and 1, has to add to 7. So these two cells are going to be a 5, 6 pair. In these two cells, we can't have 6, 7, so we need 2, 3, 4, and 8. That can't be a 3, so that can't be a 2 either. So this is a 2, actually. So there's no 2 in here. Let's just put those in. We know that this cell can never be 9, because that would require a 2 here, or double 1 around it if it was a 3-cell cage. This can't be a 6, obviously, or a 5 because of these two, so it is a 7, which means that this is a 4, this is a 3, this is an 8. Wait, this is the 3-cell 11 cage. Oh my word. There's no 6 here, or 7. That's a 6, obviously, and that's a 7, that's an 8. We get all the same sort of things we got before. This is a 14 cage, but this cell can't be 6 or 8, so it must be a 5, 9, and we know the order, because there's only 2 ways to make 14 in 2 cells. This 9 gives us the 9 and the 5. That's a 2 still, so that's not a 2. There's a 9 in one of these two. Oh, there's a 9 down here, so that places the 9 right there. Well, this 5 actually does tell us that that's a 6 and that's a 5. And we know that this is a 1 because of this 11 cage. I neglected this 11 cage for so long. In many ways. Okay, this is a end of a thermo, and it can't be any high digit. It's 5 at most. Oh, and it can't be 2 because you can't get to a 1. And it can't be 3 because this can't be a 2 or a 1. So this is a 5 actually, which means that this has to be lower than 5 but can't be 1, 2, or 3. So this needs to be a 4. This cell is the end of a thermo and can't be a 9, but it can be 8, 6, 7, 6, 2, or 3. Oh no, it can't be 2 because then the 1 wouldn't be able to go there. Well, there's definitely a 9 in one of these two cells. Oh, and this cell is That's actually really cool. So there's a 9 in one of these two cells, and we know this cell is a thermo that goes at least into this cell, so that can't be a 9, because that would be partially along a thermo. And now we know that this can't be a 3, because that would be a 2, 1. Now this 9 gives us an 8 at the top. What about this cell? That's at most a 6, and can't even be a 5. So 6, 4, 3, and it can't be 2 because there's a 1 looking at this cell. And it can't be 3 because there's a 1 and a 2 looking at that cell. So that can't be a 3 either. And if that was a 4, this would need to be a 3. But if this was a 6, this could be a 5. What about this one? Isn't that sort of similarly constrained? Sort of. Could be 7, could be 6, could be 4. Can't be 3 for the same reason as this one can't be 3, because this cell that it's attached to can't be 1 or 2. But again, we can ask, what can this cell be? It can only be 6 or 3 because it sees 1, 2, 4, and 5, and it needs to be less than 7 at least. Oh, and this can't be 4 because there's a 4 in the row. There's no 1 here, and there's no 1 there. So that's a 1. So that reveals that these are just 2-cell thermos. I mean, if they were any longer, we'd be in real trouble, so... There's a 1 in one of these 2 cells. Guess maybe we have to use this thermo that I've neglected. Look at this 4. That's pointing down here. This can't be a 4, and those can't be 4s, so there's actually a 4 in one of those 2 cells. Which means there's a 4 in one of these 2 cells. Which means there's no 4 down here. There's no 4, there's no 5. So this is 2, 3, 6, or 7, because it has to be less than 8. This one obviously can't be 7, this one can't be 2. We look at 1s and 2s, because 1s and 2s are restricted by these things, right? So 2 also goes down here. Oh, this is it, this is it. So this is a 2-4 pair, because of this 2. So there's no longer 8s in those cells, and this is an 8, which means that that's not an 8, and this is a 1-8 pair. I bet that's going to have impacts on 2. 2 can't go here, can't go there, can't go there, so 2 is in one of these 2 cells. Not as good as I hoped it would be. But it's still good because this 2-4 pair gives us a 3 and a 2, and there's actually no 2 or 3 on here, which means that we actually have a 6 and a 7 and an 8. Where does 6 and 7 go in this box? It can't go there, it can't go anywhere else, so this is a 6-7. That 6 gives us a 7 and a 6. What is this cell? That's a 3. So that's a 5, and that's a 6. Where does 3 go in this box? It can only go here. That means that that's a 2. So that's a 2, and that's a 4. So that's a 4, and this is 7. So that's a 7. We can place the 4 here, which places another 4 there. 5? Yes, we can. The 5 goes there. So this is another 1-8. What about this cell? That cell is definitely fillable. That's a 3. So that's a 3. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 3. That's a 2. That 1 gives us the 8 and the 1 and the 8. That means these 2 cells are 1 and 6. So these 2 cells are 5 and 2. Yes, 2. I was half right. That was a very interesting take on the whole concept of this sort of puzzle. It was not hard. It revealed itself slowly but very elegantly. Interesting. So I think this box was very central to Dathan's late stage of the puzzle setting. All right, so that was fun. Let's try and figure out some things on our own. Well, I'm gonna try the light bulb where we just put it. I haven't really thought about what constraints I would use, but maybe we can do something with Renban. Let's highlight first of all everywhere which is fog of ward. How are we going to tell our solvers what to do using Renban? That is a tricky question. Maybe we can do something with, you don't know if it's 2 different Renbans or 1 Renban alone, but you know that somehow either way there is implications. It's hard because you don't know the length of the Renban other than the length which is within the visible area. So it might be hard to get anywhere with just Renban, which is probably why both Chameleon and Dathan, both of them used 2 different constraints to sort of play off each other. You know, Renban quadruple could be interesting. I haven't set with quadruple in a long time. I wonder if you can't see it outside the grid. That would be funny. Like the leftmost digit you can't see. if you do 9, 2, then the 2 gets pushed to the left. I was thinking about like 1, 9, so that you would know that these have to be separate Ren bands and they have to be both extreme. Now they wouldn't have to be separate because they could join eventually. It would have to be a 9-cell Ren band though. So the question is, do we want to force it to be a 9-cell Ren band, or do we want to force it to not be a 9-cell Ren band? I feel like forcing it not to be a 9-cell Ren band would probably make things a little bit easier. If we did something like that, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that would be 10. So if you try to join these into one line, I think that's 10. So you would know that these are two different lines. These could be 9-cell Ren bands, but just be on their own. Like you could have a 1-9 pair here, and this could be a 9-cell Ren band. So perhaps Ren band isn't the best thing for this. Ren band alone feels really hard to do this with, which makes me want to do it really badly, which is probably really stupid. I can already tell there's going to be a lot that I'm cutting out of this. How can I use Ren bands to get a digit is what we have to ask. Because we're not going to get anywhere unless we get a digit. It's really hard when you can't tell them the length of the Ren band. We could stipulate that Ren bands don't intersect, so something like this, for example, would count as a 4-cell Ren band, because you couldn't have this and an intersecting Ren band, because we'd stipulate in the rules that Ren bands can't intersect in that way. Or we could do something like this, for example. These cells would have to have the digits 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on them, because just imagine the digits 1 to 9 in a row and then take off 2 digits from either side. Well, you're always going to have the middle 5 digits left over, the digits 3 to 7 inclusive. So that means this digit would be 1, 2, 8, 9. So how can we use the digits 1, 2, 8, and 9 in this cell to get us an actual digit? Well, perhaps this is not the most prudent place for that. We would be better off doing this. Wait. Oh, that looks like an M. Memeristor. The light bulb, we really don't want the light bulb to be the digit though. So can we somehow get multiple digits where the light bulb is the digit and something else next to it has to be the digit as well? So obviously these 2 digits can't go on their own Ren band, and they can't go here, so they have to go down here. Both of them have to go down there. No. This non-overlapping thing is actually important because we could have extended those further. We could do this, for example, and this digit could be something else. So we actually don't know that this is 1, 2, 8, or 9 if we did that shape. But if we did the other shape, sort of a star cap on there, then we would know that this was 1, 2, 8, or 9 because we can see both ends. And we know that this is non-overlapping, so it comes right in there and it leaves right away. Alternatively, this... The problem is with just Ren band and no given digits, we're never going to be able to disambiguate the 1, 2 from the 8, 9. So I think we do need something else. We could give a digit here. Oh, that looks awful. That is disgusting. So if we put a 3 there, then we're going to have to put a 2 here. And a 2 not being on the Ren band means that it has to be missing a 1. So we know that there's 3s in one of these 2 cells, but this 2 illuminates these cells. Oh, you know what would be interesting is if we did something like this, but this is broken. Now, why is this broken? Because there's a 1 on the Ren band, but there's no 2 because the 2 sees all these cells. So if we added another cell wherever we want, we could do that, for example, and that would be a 2. We would know that was a 2 because the 2 can't go anywhere else on the Ren band. Oh crap, we can't do that. Okay, so we could do that if we knew the Ren band ended here. But we don't know the Ren band ends there because it could continue. It could do that. And then we wouldn't be able to place the 2 here because this could be a 2. Ah, this is so annoying. I feel like this is so close to being really cool. Or if it's 4 cells long and it has a 1 on it. It needs a 3. And the 3 can't go in this box. Oh, wait. If we did this alone, then actually the 3 can't go on any of these cells, and the 2 and the 3 would both have to go here. Interesting. Okay. So that's actually really difficult. I mean, the only way to know is to set up another light where you could see that it doesn't go further. Is there some interesting way to set up that light? Ooh. Oh. That's broken. Okay. Oh, this is tricky. This is very tricky. This is ridiculous. Wait a second. If I can somehow signal that this is the end of this Renban, then I know that this is not the 3, this is not the 3, these aren't the 3, so that has to be the 3. And these aren't the 2s. If that's a 3, that's not a 2, and that's not a 2, so we get a 2 here. So we know that the Renban goes in here, but we don't know where this Renban goes afterward. But if we were to illuminate this cell, then we would know that this cell goes into there. I'm kind of thinking that the lights will be the digits, actually, in this variant. For some reason, I'm thinking that. Because the light on top of the 3 just looks horrible. If we were to put a light in one of these 3 cells, that would illuminate this cell. So this cell must be part of this entire Renban. Oh, but how do we know it doesn't continue? This is ridiculous. We could do that. But how do we know that this digit doesn't go up here? I really don't want to use the fact that you can see the corners of the Renban as it goes through cells. That would feel really cheap. Because, for example, I know right now, if I had this vision, that there is no Renban that goes from this cell to this cell, because this cell is illuminated and I don't see that little bit. Well, why don't I just, like, why do I, see, this is the problem with, this is my problem here. Is I don't know why I have to be so obscure with these things. Like, why not just do that? Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so let's put this as a potential candidate for a light. These can't be 3s, so that has to be a 3. This 2 sees all those cells and that one, so that has to be a 2. Now we can illuminate everything around this 3 and everything around the 2. Now this is not a 3, so therefore this is a 3. And now we can illuminate everything around the 3. We know this digit goes here, which goes up here. Could possibly use that. We could also give this digit as a 4, 5, or 6, which would resolve, that would be this digit. That would be the same digit, because this digit is on the Renban down here. So 2 goes down here. Oh, wait. That would also put 1 there, which would put 1 in one of these 2 cells. Ooh, I like that. I think that might be an interesting idea. Okay, so let's think about that. So let's think about this. So if I have something like this, we know that 1 is not part of the Renban, because if 1 was in either of these 2 cells, you would need a 2. So 1 is now there, which doesn't give us any more information about this, but it does tell us that 1 is in one of these 2 cells. If I have this Z shape, then I know this is an end, and this end can't go up, but it could really go down. Like, I was thinking it has to go down, and then this would have to be a 2, because we need, oh no, but it does have to get out of this box. So it has to come down here at least, because it needs a 3. It doesn't just need a 2, it needs a 3. I mean, I really am not seeing why this can't just really go crazy. Oh. This is the key. If I include a Z shape, this information, and this line right here, then we know that the shape of this thing has to be exactly this. Because if it wasn't, then there would be something here. This Z shape has to, as I said, get out to get a 3. So it would have to do that. And we know that the Renban lines do not intersect and they do not overlap. And therefore, we can place a 3. There's only 1 digit outside of this box that can be on the line, and we need a 3 on the line. So this has to be a 3. This is a 7-cell Renban, so these two cells have to be 8 and 9. So this 3, of course, reveals all of this. It would be interesting in this sort of puzzle if we had colored the Renbans to match each Renban with a different color. Then we would know with only like one cell revealed over here that that was the same Renban as over here. So that's an interesting idea. We might restart and go for that instead, but we're already 45 minutes in. This digit right here, this 8 or 9, goes in one of these two cells. So if we give this digit and it's not 8 or 9, then we know this 8 or 9 goes in that cell. Well, I mean, we need a Renban somewhere. Just any Renban where you can't put a 2 on it, and it takes these two cells. So let's just take these two cells for now. We can extend this in some way. I mean, it'd be interesting if this was 4. Yeah, I think it could be that many cells. I'm not sure if I could take another one without risking there being a 2. 5 and 6 must go on the Renban then. Yeah, that is actually quite interesting. So, oh, but wait, 5 and 6 on the Renban, that's impossible, isn't it? Because if this is a 4, this is a 5-6 pair, and if 5 and 6 are on the Renban and they're in this box, then these two have to be on 5, 6, and that cell has no value then. So I don't see a way of making this 4 without breaking this cell. So if this is a 5 and it was 4 cells long, and we could do that, then we could put the 6 out here, which would mean this is the 6. This would be a 7, this would be a 9, this would be an 8. Okay, that is very forcing. So why don't we try that? We still haven't really done anything with the top of the grid. So we're going to need to get there eventually. Potentially a Renban here. Maybe that. That's really interesting, actually, because so this is an 8. So that's an 8, that's a 7, this is a 7, this is an 8. And we know that there's an 8 in one of these two cells. It's good to just have a smooth, fun puzzle all the way through as well. And we've already set up the beginning to be a pretty fun and smooth puzzle, so we should try to be consistent with that. If we did something like this, this is either a 9 or a 6, and this is an 8, 7. For those are 1, 9, and 6. So what might be kind of cute is to have these all on line. Because if those are all on a line, we know that that line has to be 9 cells long, because it has a 1 and a 9 on it. And it can't go both ways. So let's think about whether this line could go this way. Ah, that's beautiful. It can't be that. Because where do you put the 7 on it? There's nowhere. There's nowhere to put 7 on it. So we know that this one goes towards the left. Now, what about these 3 cells? Assuming we don't stick anything out into here. Which is, I think, the cutest thing that we could do. So assuming it does something like that, then the 3 cells that are down here would have to be those 3 cells exactly. Because it can't be this cell, and if we only had 3 cells up here, we could have 4 cells up here. But if we only had 3 cells up here, then those 3 cells would identically have to be these 3 cells. It would be interesting to put a Renban in here. Something like that. Because if we did that, these 3 digits are very far apart. 6 and 9 can't be consecutive. 1 and 9 can't be consecutive. Okay, wait, so there has to be a 7 in here. We know that for sure. Let's pencil mark that before we forget that. There has to be a 7 in there. That is actually very cool. This is actually a really cool line. Because this line can't join here because we know it ends. Let's consider what digits could be on here. Because this one has to be a 9-cell Renban and has to come into 6 of these cells, any digit on here will have to appear in this box on the line. Let's say these 2 cells were equal to these 2 cells. Well, then there would be a 7 in one of these 2 cells, because there is a 7 in this box in one of these 2 cells. So if these 2 cells were these 2 cells, then there would be a 7 over here, which is not true, because there is no 7. So these 2 cells are not these 2 cells. So one of these 2 cells at least has to be from 1, 6, and 9. But neither of these cells can be 6, and neither of these cells can be 9 because it would have to go with an 8. So this is a 1 and a 2. That is really cool. That is incredibly cool. I really like that step. So that's not a 1. Now we know that these 2 cells consist of 2 and 7 because the 2 has to be on the Renban in this box in order to not be on the Renban in this box. At this point, this cell is revealed. So we know approximately what this ren band does. Now, is it better for 7? No, it's not better for 7 to be picked up in this box, because if 7 is picked up in the box, in this box, then we have to pick up both 2 and 7, and then we wouldn't know its order. So this is a 2 and this is a 7, because we need the 2 on the ren band over here. 1, 6, and 9 are not in the ren band cells. We know that this one... Wait, how many cells are we taking from here? We're taking 5 cells? Yeah, so the cells that are not taken in this box have to be 6 and 9, because we already have a 1 here, and we already have a 2 here, and these cells have to be equal to the cells not taken in this box. So this has to be a 6, 9, and then whatever we do with the ren band, we can't miss out this cell, because that would mean that it has no value, and we can't miss out this cell. So these 2 cells are definitely in the ren band. Let's put a little ren band there to remind ourselves of that. I guess we could extend this one more, right? That would just... Well, there couldn't be a 5 in either of these two, so that would mean this is a 6-9 pair, and we'd be able to fix the 6 and the 9. We should place a 5 here, which... Oh, this is interesting, actually. Okay, so if we extend this one more, then we still know that this is a 7-8, because these two can't be 7-8. Remember, we had an 8 pencil mark here. And since these 2 cells can't be a 5, this can't go down to 6-5, so this has to be 6-9. And there's a 9 in this column, so that's going to be a 6. That... Oh, oh, no. Oh, maybe... Oh, yeah. This could work. This could work. If this does that, this still has to be 7-8. This still can't be 5-6, so this has to be 9-6, 5-1, 2, no 5. We definitely don't want this to be a 3-4 now. So that's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 4, that's a 6. If we did a nice little Z, and then it takes one of these cells, I'm not sure which one I want to take yet, but regardless of which one it takes, we need to make sure wherever the 1 goes, we put the 6 or 9 in that place. Otherwise, we're going to get a deadly pattern. Because if we put the 1 and the 3, 4 in the same place, then this will be 6, 9, 6, 9, 6, 9, 6, 9. And we won't be able to resolve anything. Okay, we can definitely use this cell. Let's mark that as like an important cell. And let's mark these 2 as important cells. Like that, maybe? It's hard to balance everything. We're balancing the fog, the resolution, all this stuff. It's a lot. It's not easy to set. This would be a 2, and we would know that this could never be anything but a 5-6, because this cell sees 8 and 9. 5, 2. This would have to be a 1, because this would be a 5-6, and these would be 8, 9. This would be 5, 6. So that wouldn't be a 6. That wouldn't be a 1. Those wouldn't be 5s. That would be a 1. So we need to put the 3, 4 here. And that would resolve, because this would be a 5-6 looking at the 6-9. We could actually get rid of 1 cell on that ren band. Oh, wait. No, that's actually brilliant. Don't get rid of this 1 cell on the ren band. These are all lit already. That's going to be a 4. That's going to be a 3. So this is a 7. Down here, actually, from this 7. So that 7 aligns with that 7, meaning that's not a 7. So this is a 1, or sorry, a 7, and that's a 1. There's no 1 in there, and that is a 7. Well, that's very good, okay. This cell is an 8. So that's an 8, and that's a 5, which means this is a 5-7 pair. There are still cells that we can't see. If we were to connect these 2 cells, then... Okay, it's a unique solution. And now, we will have to solve this from scratch. That was not hard. That was a good puzzle. I am happy with that. Thank God we're done. I hope you enjoyed watching me set this. Please like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day. See you later. Bye.